Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and here I am looking over, working on my 68 Dick Landy Dodge Dart GTS here, 440 car. And this one I'm building for the USAC build, and it's going to be box stock, so I'm not doing any real modifications to this. Just like the car, and as I read more about the car, I do want to build this kit, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do this one, and I've decided to pick it because just think it's going to be an easy build and everything, and some things go smooth, some things don't. I was planning on putting the decals on tonight, and I was looking over my painted silver body that's been color sanded, and I thought it was ready for the decals, but here under the really bright lights, sometimes things I start to see them as I get to. I got a bare spot of paint right here that you can kind of see where it's white. Although the decal looks like it'll cover all the way to the back. Not really sure, so I got to touch that up. I've got another spot right here to touch up. The decal would cover that as well. But I saw that, and there's another spot in the C-pillar here where it needs a little bit of more color sanding as it got a little rough while I was cleaning up the mold line right there. But, I did some cleaning and sanding, and I got some of the overspray on the inside because I want this to, all be visible as silver as far as the chassis goes and the inner fenders. But the silver paint tends to, lay down not really smooth and whatnot. I have trouble with silver and gold paints. Sometimes they go really nicely, sometimes they don't. But this body I thought was pretty much ready, but there's just a couple areas, so I'm not going to be working on this tonight like I was planning. So I'm doing a bench update of some of my other projects here. But I did get the chassis painted. You can see where the texture is, and I need to color sand and clean that up a little bit. Clear will hide some of it, but I really don't want to bury it in clear as it'll get kind of thick. But I can toothbrush some of this stuff off too. That'll kind of help. Did that part of the chassis because it's visible. Put some of this in here. Got the hood pretty much ready. There's a small little scuff mark right there in the silver and the metallic, so that's another thing I want to kind of gloss over. Just do another light coat of it and everything, since it's going to be cleared. The light coat's really not a big deal. So, and then get some of the decals on these, and some of these other parts I got ready as well. So the body pretty much has some paint on it. Decals are pretty much ready, but I'm gonna kind of put them away. So I'm going to show you some of the other projects. I did get some painting though. Here's the engine. I did paint the engine, the 69 Hemi orange paint. So, which is, how the box is kind of telling you to do it, the instructions. So I'm going to follow the instructions, even though from Chrysler, 68 would be a turquoise for a big block. So while this is, hard to say, some of my reading says that Dick Landy painted his engines red. Whether or not that actually means Chrysler engine red, or Hemi orange, or race red, or whichever, because there's a couple of different shades of them. But so I'm just going with this one and just kind of following the box art, just kind of having some fun. But I was enjoying researching the car to find more information out. But this one's coming along, but just a little delay. But I don't have any real time to keep working on it tonight. So we'll show that because I got to get some info out to you guys. Then also in my rounds of painting, here's the 64 Chevelle SS Convertible. Really liked how this one came out. The paint laid down beautifully. This is the Goldwood Yellow, it's called here, from Scale Finishes. But I haven't done anything to this other than, just actually, painted it. The foil is under there. I haven't polished that out. But, I got a little bit of polishing. But this one, the paint laid down beautifully. I'm looking it over. Don't really see any issues, and real happy with this one. So get the emblems taken care of and pretty much ready. And then this one will be, much farther along. So put that away. And I did show I painted this engine too. There's the Chevy engine red/orange, which actually is the different color. So I don't know if the camera will pick up the little bit shade difference. One's a little bit darker than the other. But these are Scale Finishes engine paints that it actually has. So this is Chrysler Hemi orange, and this one is Chevrolet engine red orange from it tells you the years too, like 57 all the way to forget when it was 70 something, but anyway, when they started painting their motors black. But so those two are ready. And then here's another motor, another Hemi right here. This one, if you recognize this one, this is from the Mobius altered wheelbase 65 Dodge, which I was working on that too a little bit, since I'm doing some body work to all of these. So this one's kind of at a different stage. It's primed, and the body is ready for paint, and I started to paint it, then I realized that's not the right color. That's it's ivory, not really white, and I got the white on order, so realized that. But I did have the chassis painted and along with the roll bar, so I went ahead and stripped those, and they're ready for primer again, and when the white paint gets here. So I stripped these, got these ready, the roll bar ready. Hood is not in primer anymore because I painted that, so time to strip that. But then I started to realize, it's like, wait a minute, this is a bit more yellow and creamy than white. But I did start grinding on the dash, so here's a look at the dash on that, wiping out the glove box and the radio, because these AFX cars did not have them. But all I did was just went real carefully with my Dremel and just removed all of that and smoothed it out. But there's no body work there, so I'll sand and smooth that and get this dash nice and flat right there. So, but I'm real pleased with how that came out, and just doing a little bit of work to that. So these are coming along. I've got a lot of pieces to paint black and get those going. And here's another one I'm just kind of playing with here, since I got my Mopars here. This is one that's kind of been bouncing around and sitting for quite some time, and I just kind of decided I'm going to work on this a little bit while I'm working on the other ones. So this is a Johan 70 Superbird, and kind of a restoration, as this was a previously painted body, was assembled at one time and broken apart. So reattaching the wing, getting the body work there, got a pinhole there I got to fill in, smoothing everything out, and getting the nose cone on and really smoothing it all out on this one. So just having a little bit of fun with this one, but that's how some of these go. You can see I've taken some of the letters off and everything. I'll remove the side marker lights, as this one's going to be a race car, but just having a little bit of fun with it. And we'll see, when this comes along. But like when I do body work and stuff, I kind of bounce around and I'll grab miscellaneous projects and work on more than one. But this is another one I'm kind of playing with. And speaking of the Chevelle, by the way, here's the interior tub. I did some more cleaning in there and getting that ready for black paint. So this is pretty much ready now. And so when I start spraying all the stuff in black, which I went and separated and tossed it all in here. This is everything that's going to be black on this. And, interior parts, all the suspension, all this, and the dash. So this one's pretty much ready, other than I got to start spraying all that. So I'll be working on that this weekend. And we'll see how much of that I get done. But you got a lot of semi-gloss black stuff to paint between this one, the interior on that one, priming and painting this one. So got a lot of painting to do, and hopefully the weather works out here in Arizona. It's been kind of warm, but it cooled off a little bit last weekend, but it made it a little difficult to actually do some of this stuff. But the primer is really easy to do. Some of the base coats are really easy to paint and everything. And also, for one of my last videos, you guys pointed out, I did the video on the Dioras, and you guys, a number of you mentioned that, hey, this particular release, the Retro Deluxe release, has some of those parts restored in it. So, surprisingly, Dan Doan also had this one. And he gave this one to me. But just a quick look in it is, yes, it does in fact have both the glass tops, clear and tinted, which is pretty cool. And this one, the body's been kind of sanded on and the roof was cut off. Trying to make it into one of the other custom vehicles. But yeah, you guys told me about these tires. These are nice tires. So I'm definitely going to use these tires. And the decals are pretty cool too. And as some of you had mentioned, it also has the tonneau cover. So I wanted that as well. So Dan gave me this to build. And another nice little surprise in here. Speaking of this, you know, just a little update video instead of making a whole nother video on the Dior is, it's got this booklet on how they built the thing. So a lot of really cool photos here and some of the stuff, but I noticed these emblems aren't on the decal sheet. These emblems right here, but you can see that there, which Dan pointed out. That's actually this logo right in there. So the older kits have that, so I think I'll foil cast that and add that to this one since I've got them. And so this is going to be playing around with some of this as well. And get all this back in the box. But that's Dan. He didn't give me all of these kits, but he didn't know what I was going to do. He just picked a couple of kits for me to kind of look into. And it was kind of fun playing with the Dior and showing you the internals of all of that. So this is going to, you know, eventually get built as well. But I'm going to foil cast and copy those parts. But that's going to do it for this one. And I'm going to get back to playing with working on some of these here. I'll do a little bit more to this, and I'll have a little bit more time later in the week to work on these. But I wanted to give you a little update of what's on my bench and what I'm playing with, and just what I'm having, you know, just what I'm playing with really. So you guys can get an idea. So got some more work to do. I'll do a little bit more and everything. But you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it, you guys. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.